To appreciate God once again for the successful Women Conference in TCGMI. These are the gifts I have for the Women of Purpose, the Women of Purpose in TCGMI for the success of the Women Conference. To appreciate the women in TCGMI.
That they remember that they were eating cucumber, leeks, that they were eating garlic, eating fish. That how come it's only manna that they are eating, manna that they didn't work for. Some people are toiling before they could find something to eat, but God provided it for them on the platter of gold. God rained manna down. That miracle has never occurred again. They were so favored, so highly favored, so privileged. God so loved them, was provided for them day and night. Still, they were not satisfied. They were complaining they are not seeing meat to eat after providing balanced diet for them. Not remembering all the stripes of Cain that they do receive anytime. Before they even offer them those food in Egypt, they will have to receive Cain. They were using them as slaves when they were still in Egypt. The Bible said you should not go back to Egypt. The day they still want to go back to it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18. We should remember to always be joyful, be prayerful, and always appreciate God. Always give thanks to God. Boba putie kato. And boba to means that if it is unpleasant, give thanks to God. If it is pleasant, give thanks to God. Because that unpleasantness will turn to pleasantness. Before you know, everything will turn around for good. Always cultivate the art of appreciation to God. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Paul warned the Corinthians and believers not to grumble. The same thing still occurred in the New Testament. And Apostle Paul was telling those believers then, when they were grumbling, that they should not grumble. And he took them back to the Old Testament. What happens to the Israelites when they were grumbling? God is not happy with complainants, people that grumble, people that worry a lot, because worry will not do anything. It will rather compound problems. Can be a tool. Challenges are a tool to shape us for God to use us effectively. You know, when you want to use a knife that is not sharp, use file to file it properly, to make it sharp. A stone or a rock to make it sharp. That is when you can use that knife effectively. The same way, God is sharpening you through challenges, molding you through challenges. When you come out of that challenges, when you overcome that challenges, don't forget, you are not the only one in that situation. There are so many people that are in that same circumstances as you were before. Those circumstances that you have overcome. Some people are still wallowing in that same situation, and they were looking for someone who can encourage them, someone who can light their path, for them to come out of that situation. And here you are. God has brought you out. God has molded you effectively. God has sharpened you. God has embedded in you the wisdom to impart into others. Those ones will look up to you. You will not be the one to ask, this was how I did it. This was what I faced that time. And this was how I was able to navigate it and come out of it. You have to give thanks to God. Because that is when maturity will come. That is when wisdom will come. For example, a woman that is looking for the fruit of the womb and has been praying all this while, and God suddenly answered her prayer, and she gave back to twins, she gave back to triplets. And some other women now, they were facing the same situation. They are having the same challenges. And she called them that this was what I did. I was praying, I was fasting, I changed my diet, I did this exercise, I took this supplement. Because you have overcome it, you've passed through that stage. You are now like a light to them. Or is it someone that has graduated and is seeking for a job for a long time, and he or she couldn't find something to do? But in that place of isolation, in that place that you think is a place of abandonment, that God has abandoned you, that God is not answering you, and you sit down and you are reflecting about your life, you see that God will begin to give you some ideas that is far beyond what you are even looking to. Some ideas will begin to so I can start this kind of business. I can do this, I can do that. God is using challenges to shape you. God is using challenges to mold you and not to break you. Some people think that challenges of life is for them to be broken and to be defeated. No, it is not for you to be defeated. It is for you to be broken and to be remolded and to become whole. Because when you are not broken, when you are not remolded, you cannot become whole. 10 lepers were healed in the Bible. How many of them came back to appreciate? Only one. Why? Yes, condition. Jesus Christ pronounced to them that you are healed. The one who came back was made whole. There's a